YouTube? It is Mr. Ferguson here once again. Thank you guys for coming back for another video here in Central North Carolina. It is a windy day, so I hope the audio comes out okay. I apologize for the wind, but it's a windy March day. We've went from temperatures up in the mid 70s to today we're down back in the mid 50s. Windy, it's sunny, it feels pretty good, but again, it's windy and it feels colder than it really is. But we're still having those temperatures tonight, tomorrow night, that are down in the lower 30s. And I think my dad even said last night, down to 29 degrees at nighttime. So for those of you further north that are saying, hey, I still not even got out and done my first mow, Mr. Ferguson, you know, we're still having, in North Carolina, we're on this roller coaster of temperatures between warm and then cooler, and we're on the cooler streak right now. So with that said, thank you so much for joining the video. Thank you to all the new subscribers I see subscribing to the channel. I appreciate that. Hope you enjoyed the free content here, as I'm just a DIY guy here in North Carolina trying to have a pretty green lawn. And right now, as we said in our last video, the protein fertilizer we've used over at GCIacademy.com with Pete over there, man, the fertilizer that we put down, protein, first time I've ever used it. It's looking phenomenal. And go check out that video to see a little walkthrough about that. Just one quick admin note I wanted to make note of before we really jump into this video. As I mentioned in a special video last week, go check it out if you missed it. I did a special video on Thursday about how we're going to move the midweek quickie over to my my personal channel. Basically, it's called Mr. Ferguson Vlog, V-L-O-G. Go subscribe to that if you would. I would appreciate it. We're going to put the midweek quickie there as well as other random things. I'm starting to get back into the golf thing as my kids get a little bit older. My dad is playing a lot of golf. He's improved vastly, and I've got to get out there and beat my dad at golf sometime, but he plays all the time. I've loved golf since I was in my 20s, and now that my kids are a little bit older, I'm trying to get back into it. So I may post some golf things over there. Just went out and bought a new putter since my birthday was recently. And so they'll just be personal, random things on the Mr. Ferguson Vlog channel. But most importantly to you guys, if you're interested in the midweek quickie that I normally post on Wednesdays, big old wind gust, we'll be posting that on that channel on Wednesdays. It will still be Wednesdays, 7 o'clock, but we're going to do it on the Mr. Ferguson Vlog channel. Go check that out. Description, we'll probably put something down there below. So with that little admin note said, today, guys, I'm going to spare you some of the time. I'm going to have to put a mow on this. Of course, we got the protein down. We've got growth happening, as you can see behind me. I love the current mow. Like I said in the last video, the last mow that I did here in my lawn, it is just looking great. We still got POA annuals, I mentioned, mixed in, but besides the POA, man, the lawn is looking great. The color of the protein looks awesome, but it's growing more too. And so it's obviously the nitrogen promotes growth, so we need to keep cutting. So I'm gonna first get out here and spare you the time of having to watch me mow. We'll save that for another day when it's warmer. But I'm gonna get out here, I'm gonna mow the lawn, then we'll get back together. For you, it'll just be, you know, a clip or two in a couple seconds, but half of my afternoon will be mowing this bad boy. Once I get a cut on this, we want to get the sprayer out, and I want to do a spray. If you're new to the channel, if you've just joined, I typically have had the biostimulant package from the NEXT Green County fertilizer, but right now all I've got is RGS, and that's about it. I'm cutting back on my biostimulants to see if I see any major type of difference in my lawn, in my soil. Right now it looks phenomenal, but through our soil test and everything, my micro nutrients are great. There's no need for microgreen, and so RGS is something, the humic acid, we may put down, because I definitely want to continue to have that low compaction. I don't want to have a lot of compaction in the dirt, and the humic acid helps to break it down, keep it loose, and aerate as well. But anyways, we'll apply a spray here in a little bit, but first, let me go do a mow. Let's get a cut on this thing. Let's get it chopped back down. I did up my mowing height to 3.5 inches. It's cooler now. You're perfectly fine, in my opinion, between 2.5 and 3.5 inches, 4 inches, you're perfectly fine. In the 50s, I may even go back down to 3 inches. It's not grown significantly a ton, so I may even go back down to 3 inches, being it's going to be cooler this upcoming week as well. So I fluctuate between 3 and 3.5. So I may go back to 3 today. I don't know. I'll decide here in a second. But anyways, thank you so much for joining. Let me get this mow accomplished, and then we'll join back up and see what we're going to do a spray on the lawn with. Thank you for watching. All right, done. Just that fast. Like literally what, 5 seconds? All that work. I'm tired now. So we got the mow completed. We did a side-to-side, tree to tree, side to side, all the way up the road. I did a double cut again, except for on the sides I did single cut, so you may get to see that while we do our spray here. So a couple things. We're going to do a spray, as I mentioned. We're going to mix some RGS, and it feels like I have maybe a quarter of RGS left. If you're unfamiliar with RGS, as you may have already picked up, I'm a DIYer, so I'm not a science genius about this, but it's called root growth supplement. At least that's what I call it. It's soil and plant formula. It contains 6% humic acid and 3% sea kelp, and at one point I knew exactly what the sea kelp did, but the kelp has been extracted from seaweed, if I'm not mistaken, and it's very the environment of the ocean, the sea kelp, it's in a rough environment in the ocean, basically, and there's parts of that kelp that they formulated in the RGS that is supposed to help grass blades, fescue, your Kentucky bluegrass, to have a little better stress relief, stress tolerance when high heat, low cools, frost, things of that nature. Can I prove that RGS absolutely works? I cannot. Can you see RGS in a soil test? This is one of the things I don't think you can. The humic acid, apparently through some of the scientific videos I've watched, is supposed to unlock nutrients in your soil. It makes your soil darker. It's supposed to loosen compaction. The aerate has a lot of humic acid in it. Don't quote me on everything I'm saying. I'm paraphrasing here. But the main reason I've seen RGS is I think that putting this down at seeding time, I noticed that it helped germination a little bit, as well as propiconazole. Can I prove that? Absolutely not. I can't. So we're going to use the rest of our RGS. Now, if you're going to use the max rate, it's 6 ounces per 1,000 square feet. I don't think I can get anywhere near that. I may have 1 ounce per 1,000 square feet with what I can fill in this jug. So we're going to do some RGS. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of CK. It's kind of similar to what I just told you. On the backside, it is soluble potash, and it's 5%, and CK has 50% kelp by weight, and it says a big word that I can't pronounce, but a lot of kelp in here. CK, obviously, C kelp is what I think it's the acronym for. Stress reducer and bloom and root. It's supposed to literally help with stress. Now, is it a stressful time of the year in spring? I don't think so, but I've not put any of this down a long time. And you're only going to put about 1/2 ounce per 1,000 square feet. So with my sprayer, it's about a total of 4 ounces of this. So I'm just going to add this in with the RGS, being we don't have a lot as it is, just because I like CK and I want to put it down. And obviously, as we transition into some heat days, some hot days, CK will be in there. So if you know more about either of those, write it down in the comments below. I know I probably left something off. And just because I'm a YouTuber and I can't resist myself, I'm putting down some Green Effect. That's right. It's 700 Green Effect. It has 7% urea nitrogen, 3% sulfur, and we have 6% iron. Now, I am not going to go max rate, so don't stress out. Yes, we put down a pound of FERT, a pound of protein per 1,000 square feet, and now Mr. Ferguson's putting 700 of some Green Effect. I'm going to do very low, like 2 ounces per 1,000 square feet. The max rate is 8. Now, with Green Effect, I've learned, because I always got confused, once you spray it, you let it set, and it literally will green up in 4 hours of your lawn. If you've not put down any FERT this year, and you're like, hey, I have a bottle of Green Effect, you can do 8 ounces per 1,000 square feet, that iron, that urea nitrogen, in 4 hours, you can see a change in the color of your lawn. No doubt, I've done it several times. It works. So I'm going to sprinkle in a little bit, 2 ounces of the Green Effect, just because I'm a YouTuber. I think this lawn can be just a smidge darker. Remember, the protein is slow release. I don't want to go crazy. I don't want to burn it, but we're just going to sprinkle in, and I've got a whole other bottle of Green Effect as well, and that's kind of why I'm using it anyways. So because I don't have a lot of RGS, we've got Green Effect and we've got this. Am I going to water all this in? I am not. I'm going to spray it. I'm going to let it sit. We're supposed to have maybe some rain this weekend, maybe not. Not really concerned about it. Plus, the Green Effect you don't want to water in anyways, and the RGS will be fine. So we're going to mix all these up. I'm going to do 1/2 ounce per 1,000 of the CK. I'm going to do just basically dump the whole bottle of RGS in there because there's hardly any in there. And we're going to do 2 ounces per 1,000 of the Green Effect 700. So that's what we're going to mix up in our STROM backpack sprayer over here. And we're going to spray. Now, that being said, I'm going to take you guys with me as I spray, because somebody had said, hey, Mr. Ferguson, that STROM backpack, can you show us the spray pattern? Because I haven't shown that before. And so, yeah, we'll show you the spray pattern. Again, this came from GCIacademy.com. It is the STROM backpack sprayer. I did have an issue with the battery. It went out on me on the biggest important day, my fall seeding day, but STROM was gracious enough when I emailed them to send me a brand new battery. I've had no problem ever since. Everything is working great. The nozzles that we've got here came from Pete. I think he hand put these together. It's a 8-foot wide spread of a sprayer nozzle tip here, which covers such a wide margin. You've got to walk fast and you just go with it. And you go quickly and you're done in literally a 20-minute amount of time. I'm done spraying my entire yard. And then on here, we have what's called the trim nozzle. I start off by taking that trim nozzle around the whole edge, the outer perimeter of my lawn, the inner perimeter around my concrete and stuff here. And it's just it's probably about a 3-foot wide spray. And I just go around the edges and try to remember when I have the big nozzle on that I don't need to hit those areas, because we've already covered it with the trim nozzle. So sorry about my little stand here. My arm's getting tired from mowing all that. So with all that said, I'm going to mix up these concoctions here, throw the backpack sprayer on my back, and then we'll have a conversation as we walk, hopefully, and I'll show you the pattern of the sprayer, and we'll throw this stuff down in the lawn. It is a little bit windy today as well. Do you want to technically spray in the wind? No, you technically don't want to spray in the wind. However, being I have to get this video out to you guys, I'm going to move forward. It's kind of calmed down a little bit, and secondly, I just mowed. I really don't want to walk through my mow, but it's either spray it before and then cut the grass, or mow it and then have to walk through my mow. So I choose to walk through the mow. So anyways, with that being said, I think we're done. Remember your PPE, your glasses, your gloves, wear long sleeves, I got my spray boots on, and protect yourself as well. That's the right thing to do, even if YouTubers like myself don't always follow those guidelines. So with that said, I'm going to mix this up, throw you on my back, and we'll get ready to spray the yard. Trimmed out our entire lawn with the trim nozzle. Now we've thrown on the green one. Again, it's T-Jet, handmade by Pete Denny. It's windy. It looks like we got some clouds coming. I want to get this mixed down, so I'm not going to film as I go. As soon as I get done emptying the sprayer, I will pick you guys back up and show you on asphalt here the spray pattern so you can see it clearly. It's kind of hard on the grass as a background to see it, so I'm going to handle that. And again, as you guys know, if you've been around the channel, even though I'm a YouTuber, I hate filming. I'm just ready to get the job done. You know what I mean? So I'm going to get the job done. I'm going to spray the yard, spray the backyard. We'll meet back up in the backyard, and I will show you guys the spray pattern of the nozzles. All right, so thank you guys. For those that was like, oh man, I wanted to see him spray and talk again. I like that. I apologize. For those that are like, thank God he did not walk around and spray at the same time, you're welcome. So again, STROM sprayer. It is a 4-gallon sprayer. However, with this nozzle setup that Pete has set up per his PDF he gives you when you buy it, it's got a trim mode down here. It's got a number 2. It's got a level 2, level 1. I mean, that's the best way to describe it. And the middle is off. So when you have the trim nozzle, you want to do it on number 1. When you have the bulk or wide nozzle, you want to do it on level 2. So we'll start with what's on it, which is the green one, which is the wide one. So we're going to go to number 2. You hear it power up, and I emptied it because I emptied it over in my yard. So we're going to spray out here first. Any of that liquid left we want to spray out. Now it's cleared up, so I know water is in there. 3. If I hold it at a little bit of an angle, I don't know if you can see that. It's just water in the mix, but you see how wide that is. So when you hold it at an angle, I've just pretty much, look at that. I've pretty much covered from here all the way over here. You can see the splatter rate. That's what you're doing. And that's why you have to walk. That's why this puts out 8 gallons worth of fluid in a 4-gallon tank per the PDF. And as it begins to dry, you can see you don't want to hold it straight down to the ground. You want to lift it up. And that spray pattern is, that's about 8 feet. I mean, that's pretty big, if not 7. It's very close. So what I'm going to do, we're going to come back down here. We're going to turn it off. And I'm gonna switch the nozzles real fast. It is just a nozzle where you just pull back. All right, might as well do it on camera. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna pull, water comes out, pop this down, pop trim nozzle in. Sorry that mine are a little rusty. And there you go. Hopefully I caught that on film and not to screw that up. Now we're gonna go back to our nozzle or our pump. We're gonna put on number 1. It loads up because we now have fluid in the line, so it was quick. Now when you first spray it, all right, it's wonky, so we gotta turn it till we want it level. There we go. So this one will come over here when we spray. That's about the level I use it. You can see that's about 4 feet. 4.5 feet, 3.5 feet, somewhere around there. If you do this one at an angle, I mean, it's pretty much the same. You can get it to go a little wider, but really when you're trimming, I'm walking like this. So I'm really getting about 3.5, 4 feet out of it. And so there's what the trim nozzle is. We're also on our pump level 1, so we're not pushing out much power. And Pete warns about that. Don't want to be on number 2 when you're trimming. You don't want to be on number 1 when you're using the broadcast tip. So those are the 2 sprayer tips. The red one for trim, the green one for broad, and those can come with this GCI Turf was what I call it, sprayer, when really it comes by STROM. I also have taken a Sharpie and marked my backpack sprayer from 1/2 gallon, 1 gallon, 2 gallon, 3 gallons, and 4 gallons up top there. So that's something I do just so I can see it. I don't like the fact that it's not colored in, so I took a Sharpie and did that myself. Highly suggest it if you got bad eyes like I do sometimes. So as we come back up here to the front yard, we'll show you the mow here before we get out of here. But I'm anxious to see, like I said, that green effect within a couple hours. And back here in the front yard, again, we're still able to see our last mow. We did doubles up and down. We did it sideways this time, so you can kind of see we're still working on our plants. We don't know what we're gonna do up here, but on the sides over here, you can just, if I walk around the side without walking through what we just sprayed, you kind of see the mow pattern there, which brings me, as I was thinking about it, as I was mowing, I don't even know if I said this in our mowing video, if you're not mowing your grass in different directions all the time, there's a yard on our way to our church. This guy, he cuts it the same diagonal way every single time, and he's literally got, it's like track, hump of grass, track, and it just like stay every single time. You can tell when he cuts because it's like flat, hump of grass, flat, hump of grass, flat. But I think it looks pretty great. You got that little checkerboard pattern that's popping up now that we've got, left and right, up and down. And if you're cutting it and switching your mow patterns, you should see that in your yard. If you're using a lawn striper, or if your mower has the striping capability, we can still see it up and down over here, even though we mowed it left to right. So as I have to jump away from the cars, notice Mr. Brandon's awesome new Chevy as well. Shout out to him. I don't even know if he watches the videos, but man, it's looking nice. Something making the video look even better. There you go. There's the mow. We've got a little bit of urea down, a little bit of RGS and sea kelp, a little bit of CK down. So we'll keep you updated on what happens from here. So as I do my daily duty of fixing the flag from the wind, thank you guys for watching the video. If you're new, again, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. This is what I do in my lawn periodically. Is it smart after we put a pound of nitrogen per 1,000 with the protein, which lasts 90 days, to put green effect on? I don't know. Stick around. It's either going to darken up and say, huh, that looks pretty cool, or uh-oh, Mr. Ferguson went too far. I'll show you so you don't screw it up in your yard. But I'm curious. It's my yard just like it's your yard. I can give you tips and this is what I do and this is what you shouldn't do, or this is what you should do. But ultimately, your grass is your grass and you should play around with it. It's just grass in the end, right? You screw up, you learn, and you say, well, I'm not going to do that next year. like put too much fertilizer into the spreader, right? And then fall or hit a stump or something and kill your grass. We've all been there and done that. So, but I hope you're enjoying the channel. Thank you guys for all the views of the videos lately. But thank you guys for stopping by for this quick spray mow. It's been an eventful, active day for me. I know I didn't capture it all, but thank you for watching. Hope that you'll stick around, and I'll see you on the next lawn care video here from North Carolina. God bless. We'll see you next time.